questions.
Coach, do you have an injury update on Solo Tuliaupupu? Haven't seen much of him lately. Just very good.
Yeah, we confirmation. He just had a procedure to repair a lower leg injury. He'll end up missing the season for us. Obviously, we're real disappointed. He was having a great camp, had a great spring, but still going to have a great chance, I think, to have him back with us again next fall. And knowing him and what he's fought back from would be no surprise to us all to see him do it. And so he got that repaired today, and we'll see him back out here soon.
How disappointing is it for just a guy like that who's fought through so much years to go down again?
Yeah, it's a tough part of our game. I mean, that's every day you come out here, right? You put your body on the line, and you never know when it's going to be. I mean, a guy like him, he leaves it all out there every single play. You have no regrets. He's already got the attitude that he's going to come back stronger, and so I wouldn't hinge on I wouldn't maybe go too far right now in the disappointment. He's excited and already motivated to get back, and we're going to back him.
Outside of Solo, how's the health otherwise with the rest of the team?
Better. Yeah, we've improved some here over the last week. We had a pretty physical camp. Other than that, we're pretty clean on anything major, but just some of the normal things that you have coming out of camp. And last week we were able to get some guys healthy, and we're right now probably the healthiest we've been, minus him, since we started fall camp.
President Folt mentioned getting a lot of input from coaches about what they wanted from the new AD. What did you share? What are you hoping to get in that position with Jen Cohen? And have you talked to her much yet?
Yeah, shared a lot. Just gave her, was able to give some outside perspective on what we'd seen in our past, and obviously some perspective on, what we'd seen in our time here at USC. I felt like we were going to be positioned. I know I told you all to get the very best. I mean, this is an elite job, and it's even more than a few years ago. It's so set up for the person coming in here, I think, to do extremely well. And I was fired up. We got some great recommendations about Jen, some people that we all really trust, and I think that definitely meant a lot coming from coaches and administrators across the country. There was a lot of people interested. Not everybody that magically pulled their name we were actually interested in. That's how that goes. But we had some really quality candidates. I think administration made a great decision. We visited some yesterday, and then had a chance to spend some time together in person this morning. She's fantastic. We simply could not have done better.
When you look back at going into the first game last season, what are some tangible differences that you see out here, and some where you seem like the biggest stride from week one last year?
Yeah, I mean, more good players, less bad players, more depth. The front seven defensively is a big difference. For sure. The linebacker room defensively, obviously linebackers, defensive line, all of them, that feels a lot different. A little more competition across the board. There was probably less position battles at this point. More, you kind of knew who was going to play, whereas there's still several rooms where you could see it going either way. But there's still a lot of youth on this team. There's still a lot of new on this team too, right? Like we're not like we return 20 starters. So I mean, we've got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of growing. We'll have to grow some during these early games and these early weeks.
How much clarity do you feel like you have in the secondary at this point?
Getting pretty good. I feel like on a 2 deep, we're have a pretty good idea of where we're going to be. And I think we've got a couple guys that we would list as threes right now that absolutely have a chance to play and crack the 2 deep and even maybe eventually become starters. So still some competition ongoing, but yeah, I mean, I think guys like Kalen, guys like Max, Jalen Smith, Damani, Sierra, Bryson, Christian Rowland Wallace. Those are guys that have kind of asserted themselves, and you feel like that we're going to have a chance to play a lot of snaps. And then you got a few other guys, Beavers, Zion, Christian Pierce, Prophet. We got a handful of other guys. Jacoby Covington probably could put on that first list. We got a handful of others though that are going to play and are going to have an opportunity to move up as the year goes on.
Going on year 3 with Caleb Lincoln, just what have you seen from him as far as the differences in his game from last year? Do you feel like there's another level that he can potentially reach this season, even coming off a Heisman?
Oh yeah, I mean he's played played a year and a half of college football, there's 15 more levels he can get at. I mean, he's got to have to continue to get better throughout his career. I mean, he's still got the bulk of his career in front of him. So yeah, we're going to try to take a great step throughout the season, and needs to get better at a little bit of everything. I don't know if you guys believe me when I tell you that, but it actually is the truth. Like, he actually, you know, he's tremendous. He doesn't walk on water yet. You know, he's got a lot of work to do, and he's the first one to admit that, and that's why, and to see that. And yeah, he's a tremendous player, but there's not any part of his game that you're like, all right, that is at its elite. It can't get any better, right? So we're pushing it on all facets. We're coaching him hard. He's been very responsive, and I do think he's a better player right now than he was, but he's got a different skill set and a whole new set of challenges that are coming up that he's going to have to be ready to work with and respond to.
Caleb had quite the eventful summer in terms of some of the NIL opportunities that are kind of new for a lot of players. What kind of conversations do you have as a coach about balancing some of those new obligations that come up and wanting to take advantage of those, but also making sure they stay focused and do their off-season work they need to do?
Yeah, I think you got to draw clear lines, draw boundaries, and that's what we've tried to do, is be very transparent with our guys at the beginning about the boundaries, and that we want them to have NIL opportunities. We want them to be successful. We want them to take advantage of all that we have here, and there is a lot. But at the same time, you know, school and academics, or school and football are not going to be compromised. Like that's not going to happen. And we've been lucky. I mean, our guys have done really well in NIL, but we haven't had a lot of things where a guy's missing a class or a guy's missing a workout because of some NIL opportunity. Like, our guys, they understand it, they get it, and I really feel like it's not a non-issue, but it's not something we like sit there and deal with on a daily basis. And I think that speaks to the quality of kind of just kid or player that we have on this team.
Let's do one more.
How are MJ3 and Mario trending for game one?
Good. Yeah, Mario's looking good. Mike doing well. Probably going to be a little bit closer on Mike. He had a really good camp, so we'll have an idea probably later in the week. But yeah, Mario's full go, ready to roll.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.